Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Sewing with TAIC. In this video, I'll be showing you how to sew and neatly finish this stylish corporate blouse using the pieces we cut in part 1. We'll be working on the scallop hem, the belt and the ruched details to achieve a clean look. If you're new here, I'm Tayo and it's so great to have you join us. And to my wonderful returning subscribers, I can thank you enough for always being here. Your presence and support makes all the difference. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share, and also to check the description for the part 1 if you are just joining us. All right, now let's get started. Starting off with the back, remember we added 1 inch to the hem. I've gone ahead to mark out the dart line to chalk it out so that it can be easy for me to sew the dart. So I just went ahead to sew my dart like this, just the same way it was plotted, and here it is. The next thing to do is to turn the back neckline with a facing. I've gone ahead to hem the sides of the facing, as you can see. Now I'm just going to place right side on right side, and I'll go ahead and sew it off using 1/2 inch, just as you can see me do on the screen. After sewing, I'll make sure that I notch it, especially at that point. Remember, I'm using a V-shaped neckline for the back. Then I went ahead to top stitch and I just stitched it down this way so I can cut off the excess. The next thing I did was to finish off the hem. So I used a facing to turn the hem line so we can have something like this. And here is how I went about it. Remember that 5 inches long stripe that was cut out, so I went ahead to place it this way. You want to make sure that you don't have to force it to fit. Remember that the hemline is curvy and this is straight. Just place it on it this way and sew it off using 1/2 inch. Sew it off using 1/2 inch. Once you are done sewing, you can trim it off to align with the curvy shape of the hemline itself. As you can see, that's what I'm doing currently. So I'm trimming it off to align with the curvy shape. After which I went ahead to notch and top stitch on the facing itself. Remember, I added 1 inch to the hem allowance and we have only used half. So the remaining half, this is how I'm going to use it up. I'll go ahead and fold the facing this way, not the other way I just did now, but this way. Then I would go ahead and stitch it down at the 2 sides. But before completing this, I will make sure that I hem the upper part of the facing this way. Now that we have all that in place for the 2 sides of the back, the next thing to do is to fix the zipper. And here is how to do that. You want to go ahead and place your zipper this way. Make sure that the right side of the zipper is facing the right side of the fabric. Then go ahead and sew it on the wrong side, so as close as possible to the teeth of the zipper, neatly all the way from the top to the bottom. Once you are done with this side, you want to have something like this. Also, here is a tip. If you are working with a stretchy fabric or where you are fixing your zipper is along the stretchy grain, you want to make sure that you interface that area, okay, so that your zipper can appear neat. Then you want to fix the zipper to the other side this way. Make sure that you use your exact zipper allowance. And this is what I have when I was done sewing. You can see how neat it is. I'll be cutting off those excess later. Moving on to the front, here's the pattern with the necessary allowance. I added 1 inch to the hem as well, and the side sewing allowance. Also, I went ahead to interface the edges where I'll be joining together so that it can be neat. And remember that I said I do not want this bustier to be too pronounced, so I went ahead to trim off that part of the side front. I went ahead to trim it off. Afterwards, I started joining the 3 pieces together. I joined each side front to the center front neatly using 1/2 inch. this way. And here is what I have. So because this outfit is not lined, I will not be notching it, rather I'll be trimming it off neatly, then I'll be weaving it. You would see it towards the end of this tutorial how I weaved it separately. Then I went ahead to join my pattern together so that we can trim off that scallop hem design that was drafted in the cutting tutorial. So I used the hem of my back pattern to also draft out the same scallop hem so that I can see what it will look like when it is opened. Remember that the front pattern that I have is just half, okay? Now that I'm satisfied with it, I'll go ahead and place it on my fabric this way and go ahead and trim off the scallop hem design on the fabric itself. This is what I have after cutting, so I felt it was not deep enough and curvy enough rather, so I went ahead to make it more curvy and pronounced. This is why I said you can just be creative with this and work with what you want. So I opened it up again to look at it, and I felt that that side was not as curvy as what was in the style inspiration. In fact, it is because the length of this blouse is not as long as the one in the style inspiration. That is why I did not make it as curvy. All right, so I went ahead to recut it. I placed my facing, then I started sewing it off neatly. Do not force the facing to align with the hem of the blouse. It is curvy, they are not the same. Once you are done sewing and you are fine with what you have, then you can go ahead and trim off the excess that you have on the facing to match up with the hem of the blouse itself. Remember that we added 1 inch to the hem of this blouse. That was why I went ahead to resew it using an additional ½ inch, because I cannot fold the hem the way I did for the back because of this deep scallop effect. So I went ahead to sew it off with an additional ½ inch. Then I went ahead to top stitch on the facing after I have notched it. That was not caught on camera. Make sure that you notch it. Remember, it's a curvy part, so you need to notch it so it can lay flat. Then I top stitch on it neatly this way. And this is what I have. Even without ironing, you can see that it is coming out nicely. And the next thing to do is to fold that part of the facing neatly, just like we did for the back. Moving on to the ruche detail, the first thing I did was to fold it at the hem this way using the allowance that I added. Make sure that I folded it neatly. And this is what I have. Afterwards, I went ahead to start making the pleat using the extension that I have there to guide me. So you want to make sure that you will take your measurement and be sure that what you have is up to the measurements that you're supposed to have there, and this is it. Now I've gone ahead to iron the blouse itself, the front part, and you can see how neat it is looking. I've gone ahead to weave it also, the inner, the joining that I told you earlier, and that is how neat it is. So I will not be using an M gum to adhere that place because I do not want that thick part to be showing outside. Rather, I'm just going to tack it. I'll show you how I did it once towards the end of this tutorial as well. Afterwards, I went ahead to place the main front pattern on that ruche detail this way, since we are turning the neckline with that ruche detail. And also I make sure that I use my pin to align it. Remember that the neckline of the ruche detail is shorter than the main neckline. So once we are done sewing it, I will trim off the excess. Make sure that it aligns at the shoulder, it aligns at the center, and everything just fits. So once you are sure it fits, then just go ahead and sew it off using ½ inch. So this is what I have. You can also weave the sewing that was done at the neckline. Since we are not turning this with a facing, you can also weave it, alright. So I'll go ahead and stitch the sides down, and this is what I have. I've got ahead to stitch it down. So I'll be recutting the armhole so I can cut off that excess that I have over there. But before that, I'll place the back on the front this way and join it off at the shoulder using half an inch. Once I was done joining the shoulder, I went ahead to input the bust, the waist and the hip measurement, and I joined the two together at the sides. And this is what I have. So at the dart point this way, I'll be tacking it with the facing neatly. Then also at this point, I'll be tacking it with the facing neatly. So I will not be putting an M gum at that point. But I added an M gum to the tip of the scallop edge so that it can lay flat. Sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier. So now it's time for me to trim off the armhole neatly. Once I was done trimming off the armhole, I went ahead to attach the sleeve. So remember I told you during the part one of this tutorial that I actually lost this tutorial files, but I was able to recover most of it. So the ones that I was not able to recover, part of it was how I attach the sleeve. But I believe if you have been watching my tutorials, you should be able to get it. Just go ahead and fix your sleeve. Make sure that the center of your sleeve it matches up with the shoulder line. And once I was done fixing the sleeve, I went ahead to join it at the sides neatly that way. I also aimed the bottom of the sleeve too. So I'll go ahead and weave this sides individually so that I can open it up and give it a good poise. Now the final thing to do is to have that ruched detail there. But before we do that, we have to sew off the belt. So I've gone ahead to sew off the belt using half an inch, but I left a space of 2 inches so that I can turn the sleeve. I said sleeve, belt rather, so that I can turn the belt inside out. And the little opening that I have there, I will just stitch it neatly. You can use an M gum to close it, but for durability, I would advise that you stitch it. Now for that silver ring where the belt is attached, I have three types, so I decided to go with this one. Let me know which one you prefer in the comment section. Did I go with your choice too? Now that we have this here, I will set it aside. This is how I'm going to be placing the belt. Remember that the person that owns this does not want the belt long at all. That is why mine is this short. But I will just be marking the point where I would be placing the belt, because that is the point where I'm going to ruch. But before I ruch it, I'm just going to pass in the belt this way. I'll pass it in and adjust it to the desired length that I want. You can see that I was checking the style inspiration there so that I can make one part longer than the other. Now that that is done, I have my thread in the needle. Then I just started passing my needle this way. You want to bring it in out. Make sure that it matches up with the line that you have marked. So I stopped the needle half inch before the tip so that it will not drag down the neckline. Now that I have it this way, I will just go ahead and pass the needle this way in order to tie and secure what I have. Just follow through with what you can see on the screen and you would get it. So I brought out the needle all the way in order to form like a tie there. So I'll be doing that 2 or 3 times, then I would secure it by tying a knot over there. And after securing the knot, I would not cut off the thread. Rather, I would just bring the belt this way. I'll place it in such a way that it's going to cover all that thread work that we just did. So at this point, just go ahead and attach it down neatly the best way that you can. I don't know how best to explain this, but just tack it down neatly. So I also pass in thread in between those holes that I'm pointing out so that this part can stay put and it will not be moving. I discovered that when I did not do that, it was still shifting. That was why I passed in needle and thread in between those holes so that it can stay put. So this is the part that I tagged that I promised to show you at the end of the tutorial. And that's the finished corporate blouse. I hope this tutorial helps you to sew with more confidence and achieve a neat finish. If this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone learning how to sew as well. Thank you for joining me today. Let me know in the comments which part of the sewing process you found most helpful. And don't forget to check the description for part 1 if you are just joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Happy sewing. Bye.